Halima Abdullah says, why do we hate ourselves so much? Imagine moving within Africa, even to attend these shows. One cannot even afford it. The government should please do something. Unless we're extremely rich, exports is not for the layman to start. That is comment from him. We'll call for comments later. And Joe Ita says, there has been an effort for some time, long time ago, by Nexim, with support from Nexpo Trade, about a sea link project to float and manage ocean lines along the West Coast. Any updates on what stage the project is now? Dr. Joe Eater. Do we have answers from our people?
I want to believe that sea link is probably one of the things that Mrs. Bosun Sholari was talking about. And I also want to believe that to be politically correct, she's abstaining from being the one to issue any authoritative statement. However, from my own little knowledge, I was a part of the initial concept of sea link when Robert Oria was the managing director of Nexim. I was a part of the board of Nexpo Trade that attended the official launch by the ECOWAS Commission of Sea Link in Accra in those days when it was floated as an investment company. However, with the exit of that MD, it appears that subsequent administration did not pursue it. But it remains a very plausible project. It remains a very desirable, and not just desire in terms of passion, an economically needed project on the coast of Africa, West Africa. Because, I mean, you want to send something from Nigeria to Cotonou, if it's not going by trailer from mile 12, mile 2, then it has to go to Napoli in Roma in Italy before it comes to Cotonou, which is just 3 hours next door by truck. That's the challenge that we are facing right now. So I imagine that Mrs. Sholari should have more information, at least more encouraging information that will serve as answer to Dr. Joe Ita's question. But I know that Sea Link was actually properly packaged, almost ready to be launched, adopted and accepted by the ECOWAS Commission as at the time that this is, and it even became something that Central Africa was then advocating and begging to be allowed. It was supposed to be an ECOWAS project, but Central Africa actually raised investments into Sea Link. That's the much I know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so very much. I'm going to ask Solomon Ogunleye to please unmute.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Very clearly.
Yes. I want to start from where Mr. Abuede ended. In my retirement, I worked for ECOWAS on consultancy, myself and a Ghanaian, and we work on ECOWAS Common Code, and we work on ECOWAS Common Tariff. I thought, myself and a Ghanaian, we thought the ECOWAS Anglophone countries, whilst another delegation went to Francophone and Portuguese-speaking countries. We came across this Sea Link thing he was talking about from the Chamber of Commerce, Liberia Commerce. When, because of our discussion, we talked of this logistics, and he said the Chamber of Commerce is then, I don't know whether another organization is involved. He said they are working, Chamber of Commerce across West Africa, they are working on floating a shipping company then. He talked of that, but I don't know what has happened to that. But with what Mr. Abuede said now, I think that should be it. Now, On goods, let me talk on custom aspect now. On goods now, there is, in terms of logistics, there is a ECOWAS common code that sort of regulate all movements, logistics, truck movement and everything under ICRT, Interstate Road Transit Program. That once a goods is loaded at one customs point and it has achieved all the custom documentation, it can move across West Africa unhindered. But I don't know whether there's political will, because that's the problem with all these ECOWAS protocols. Political will of member countries to adapt to the protocols. That is an exhibition goods. When you are carrying your exhibition process, the ICRT thing I talked about must be good that are ETLS compliant. Goods originating. ETLS can be for, the essence of common code and the common tariffs are goods land at any port of the member countries, and it can be moved from that port to another country, under ICRT protocol. ETLS, as Mr. Boyede said, all of us, you are an exporter, I'm just a consultant. You know that it must be compliant to the protocol, the country of origin. The percentage of input from the sub-region into the goods will move as as goods from one country to the other. Then exhibition, when you are going with your goods you are going to exhibit, you don't need to pay duty on it. That is sure. You don't, but you must have done your process, your documentation right from your point, and you move it. They may want to take advantage of you if you are not conversant with it along the way. For instance, if you want to move your goods by truck from Border to even to Togo, when you get to Benin, at each point they'll be stopping you. All those then that they'll be stopping you. But if you know what you are doing, it may take a little time, but you can talk your way out till you go up to Ghana, anywhere within West Africa. Goods on exhibition, you are taking for exhibition purposes. It's devoid of duty. It's devoid of duty completely. It's in the common tariff, because West Africa now runs a common tariff and under a common code. But the political will is the problem, and there are associations that work on that. Like, because when we were in Sierra Leone now, so they are linking up with Nigerian Chamber of Commerce, NASIMA, ICC, and all the Lagos Chamber of Commerce, and all that. They were telling us they were linking up so that they can form a front that can work for businesses. That much I know,
Okay.
but I know.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Ogunleye. You're highly appreciated. I see your end, Patrick Odegu. I'll come to you. Thank you, Mr. Ogunleye, again. Let me read some of the comments here. We have Omolara. Hello, everyone. I'm Lara Johnson. Thank you, Madam Solari. You are speaking well. Okay, thank you for the compliment. Miriam Mashanu, she said, good evening, everyone. The present lady speaker. I'm also an invitee of our Fiera Fair Senegal next week. Madam Solari, can I have your number? I'm residing in Kano. Let us talk in private place. Madam Solari, can you share your number on the chat? Is that okay by you?
I think they should do that privately. That's what
Okay.
the person wanted.
Okay.
I think they can private chat each other.
Okay. And I have Omolara again. Some of us have products for exportation, but we don't have market, and we keep renewing our certificates, including NEPC. How can we grow as SME? It is the same set of people that goes for programs. My products are beans flour, unripe plantain flour, peeled beans. Okay, Mr.
If Mr. Faleke doesn't mind, I would like to answer this one. Please, I am not a government spokesperson or an NEPC apologist, but I would like to put the truth out there so that it's known. In Gambia right now, NEPC bought stands and is trying to encourage 40 MSMEs, maybe about 60% of them, those who participated in the pilot project in October 2022. But the truth is that there are more products out there of companies that NEPC knew or who confessed to the NEPC ab initio that they cannot participate in person at the trade fair. NEPC made arrangement with with Measures Africa Connect Gambia Limited, and they're actually having the products of these companies on display. With reports going back, I know, for example, that Flour Mills has its product on display. Flour Mills is not coming there to sell anything, but Flour Mills is targeting that as a market where, if any interested, importer comes, then they start to officially strategize to come into the Gambia market. So for Ms. Omolara, I know, I think there are a few companies out there, AM Foods, I can't remember the names right now. At least I know about 2 or 3 companies, Green something, not Green Africa, where I know that there are about 2 or 3 companies out here in Banjul who are displaying your kinds of products. So what am I trying to say in essence? Please enhance your relationship, your contact with the NEPC, and I'm very sure that nobody would have turned you back if you had submitted samples for the Gambia International Trade Fair. Again, I don't hold brief, but I want to state the true position of things so that we absolve NEPC of unnecessary and unfair assumption that they only have their cronies going for trade fairs. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. We have Patrick Odiego.
Yeah, thank you so very much. It has been a very interesting program and deep insight from Dr. Faleke. If he's not a doctor, please include that doctor in your resume. I want to also appreciate Daddy for the awesome work he has been doing. We are really, there's one sector that really needs to come on the plate. Solid mineral sector. The jewel of this country is solid mineral. If we don't take solid mineral to proper export, we are leaving a lot of money on the table. We are leaving a colossal amount of money on the table. One of the products that is used in most of these South African regions is barite, because everybody is looking for gas. Meanwhile, Nigeria is importing gas, importing barite, the product that is available in more than 9 states of this country. So there has to be a structured system to take product to export. I have a contract for zinc, but Daddy has said I should have to come into the WhatsApp platform to discuss that, right? Now, I want to give some information on SeaLink. SeaLink has finished doing dredging, charting naturally, with the Navy. They've charted from Lokoja to Burutu, and they've seen areas that is navigable. From Onitsha Port, they're actually moving product now from Lokoja to Onitsha Port. Those companies, those ceramic companies in Lokoja are now using SeaLink facility to move their products to Onitsha and so many other places. So more or less, in less than 2 months, SeaLink will be fully operational. They've finished the charting and they've seen that the height of the water with the rainy season coming up will be very high before they start the dredging. So that's how much I know about SeaLink. So it's still on. It has not gone out of, it has not catch most of those Nigerian harmattan. So Daddy, I want you to not to sleep tonight. I want you to think solid mineral. I have a zinc order in the region of $40 million. In the region of $40 million. When you look at this amount, it sounded like a far fetch. But I can tell you about a company that started mining in Osun State. For over many years, they were struggling to look for money. Nobody was giving them a dime. Yeah, guess what? Last year, the accumulative turnover was $400 million. You heard me right, sir. In Osun State, $400 million. So solid mineral is something that we are leaving Chinese people to be cutting away our wealth. I'll give you an example, sir, before I conclude. If you move zinc and lead from Nigeria, those zinc and lead, apart from zinc and lead constituent that is in it, there is silver and gold. Nigeria is not earning a dime from it. And the reason is because our institutions are not interested. Our bank, instead of funding the mining company to do the needful and build their capacity in terms of processing to warehouse those values in Nigeria, continue to speak their English. Oh, we are not funding mining. Well, I don't know what else to say, but let me stop there. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, let me just react quickly to that, Mr. Odeogu. Thank you so much. But I'd like you to note that I caught my wisdom teeth on international trade activities at the Kensington Town Hall in London, United Kingdom, from 2nd to 6th of September 2001. It was my humble self with my company, Colonial Ventures Limited, that staged the most successful up till today exposition of Nigeria's solid minerals sector to the world. That was the Nigeria Minerals event at the Kensington Town Hall. And following immediately after that, today that we have a geological survey agency of Nigeria planted on ground in Abuja was also an offshoot of the efforts amid the immodesty in me bringing this information out now, because it involves me, because it was after the Nigeria Minerals event that it became known that there was already a concept note for a Nigerian Geological Survey Agency, where President Obasanjo agreed with the Minister of Solid Minerals that the country needed this, but the ministry should go and look for the funds. So I humbly led Kanu Agabi and two of his PAMSECs to Luxembourg in the European Union, where the European Investment Bank is located. I led them there to go and look for funding for the setting up of the Geological Survey Agency of Nigeria. The rest, they say, is history. So please, we are very mindful of the high potential of the solid mineral sector, and we will always work in collaboration with anybody. Yorubas have this little adage. They said it's the baby that opens its arms that an elder person can carry and cuddle. So we're not going to go out looking and spending our energy looking. Anybody who is set to explore the seed that we already planted, Talking Trade and Investment Global is ready. And of course, we'll be ready to continue to talk with you. By the way, try to talk to Chief Jola Pamo Mola in terms of the investment you are looking for to satisfy your order, or if you can reach the former governor of your state, Rashid Ladoja. They were the two who benefited most from the Nigerian Minerals event that I did in London. And I know that Chief Jola Pamo, for example, is still very active in Barracks. You can continue this chat offline with me, and I'll guide you. Sorry, I had to bring that information out.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your efforts and your knowledge are absolutely world class. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for your contributions. And on the platform, I see some of Omolara says, okay. Yes, that was the last one I read earlier, I believe. Okay, Joe Ita said, I thank Mr. Faleke for a well-delivered paper. As long as African countries are not ready to support our AFCFTA policies with final domestication and matching on words with action, then the activity will not achieve much and in record time. I thank the organizers for this exposure too. Thank you so much for your compliment.
Would you like to have your business products or services featured during our Tatu webinars or inside our webinar flipbooks? If so, we have a great opportunity for you to get your products or services in front of a large audience. You can place your adverts to be featured live during our Talk with Trade webinars, which we also live stream on Facebook. Our Tatu webinars host a huge audience from across the globe. Each year, our webinars run from February to November on the first Saturday of every month at 5 p.m. West African time. Placing your ads in our webinar flipbooks will expose you to a global audience and extend your reach, as our flipbooks are sent to our entire database of contacts and shared on our social media platforms. We have limited spaces, so make sure you get in touch with us to book your space. Please email femi@femiboyede.com for further details.
Thank you so very much, Shady, for the wonderful advertisement. What does this mean? This it means that we have so many platforms for you where we can showcase your businesses. You can please connect with us later. Please don't unmute yourself again when we meet you. Please, it's disturbing everybody. Okay, so you can connect with us later to advertise your business, and you have a very huge exposure. This note, we are trying to round up. Is there any further comments before we round up?
Can I just quickly say something? So this has been a great conversation, and I think Madam Bosun mentioned something about going to a trade fair and people not understanding that their product can be showcased for them for free, right? And also she talked about people not even asking about how they can support. So I think I'm going to encourage us as SMEs that we need to, in terms of being transparent and also creating trust, something that, and I mentioned the change of mindset the other time, right? So we need to start trusting each other. And if somebody is going to help me take my product to Kenya, we should be asking, what can I do to support you? You know, and the person should be able to also say, okay, this is, if you can just support me with 20,000, I will appreciate it, right? So we need to start talking. We're used to free thing, everything for free, right? I mean, the business of serving the people as well, providing services, and I can see other people, they will pay easily. They will pay, but when you see Nigerian, they're coming to you, they want to do it for free. You know, even if they have the money, I've seen people who actually have the money, they won't pay. Oh, can you help me? Oh, can you do this for me? Oh, this, right? And that is why our community were not growing. You know, when you look at China, they pay for services, right? They pay for amount within their community. The same thing with Indians. So we need to start paying for services and appreciating each other, right? And also make sure we're not just saying, help me, because the person is also spending his time, his energy, his money, his resources. So we need to start acknowledging ourselves and making sure we're doing it. And that's what's going to help to change Nigeria and Africa as a whole. So when you look at Africa, we're so backward because we're not doing that. And when you look at the developed world, the money flows easily. The money flows around, right? So the money you pay me goes to the community and it's going to keep flowing around. So please, let's, the 30 of us or more of us in this forum, start that going forward. That somebody's going to do something for me. I'm going to ask, so how much can I give you? How much can I pay for this? I should be able to speak and say, yeah, pay me this. And if I say, don't worry, don't pay anything, then that's okay. So that's my thank you.
Thank you so very much. Madam Omolara Konji, I see
yes, I just want to build on what Mr. Haruna said. He picked the word from my mouth. I want to say that wealth building, it should be our mindset. wealth building is a mindset. Once you start building your wealth, you become successful and you become free. So if this ACFA will work, the ACFA should be the one that will help us to build wealth in Africa, and we should not be like depending, free goods. There's no free goods in the world. So I just supported Mr. Haruna for what he has said. Very apt. Thank you.